This is Steve with TVG. This is part 3 with the QuickBooks QBFC POS stuff. The last project what we did was we created an application that loads the users, all the employee names, and also allow them to log in or clock in, clock out. So now what we're going to do is use the same application, and we're going to load all the items that are stored inside QuickBooks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off here in QuickBooks, and I want to show you my inventory here that I have. And what's this? No, I don't want to import. Okay, this is just some basic stuff. I have some items in here. This item number, don't even listen to that. That number is just there to show you how many items you got there and what index they're at, but they don't count. What we're going to use is a list ID to reference them. Alright, as you can see here, let me select one. Oh, I can't double click. Forgot about that shit. How can we select it? Nope. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Go away thing. Alright, here it is. What the hell did I do? No, that's not what I want. Yes. Okay. I was trying to double click on this item, but it won't let me because I'm recording. Alright. What I did was I created an item and basically gave it a department name. I called it food, and then I have parts called ingredients. And then I used this description to actually give it the name I want. And I'm using a description too to be able to assign some kind of a path for like an image for later on for identification in my POS system. Also, the prices and stuff like that are also in here, but I did not put any prices on this, thing. I mean, I could import some items from another thing, but then I'm gonna have a big pile of crap, and I don't want to deal with that. Either way, we're gonna work on loading these items into, VB. So, minimize that thing and go back to my VB stuff. This one. All right, here we go. This is the login stuff. We're gonna move this stuff over. Stuff doesn't need that big, There, done. Okay. I'm gonna copy this list box and just add another one, and just put it there. There we go. I'm gonna use this list box to populate all the items from QuickBooks. And what I need to do is create a class that stores all that information. I guess we'll do that in a second here. I'm going to go into the application, and right now we have it where it loads the employees right off the bat. So we're going to tell it to load the items. I'm going to do a load inventory. Okay, so our quick little sub here, it's going to load our inventory. And let me see if I have anything pre-built here. Okay. Same thing as always, we always have to do the start session and an end session. Okay, and then we're going to fill it up with stuff. We always have to create that message request. In this case, we're just going to copy it over because that's a lot easier. I'm going to type it again. And then we also need to build the query string, I guess, for this thing, or however you want to call it, the query request. So I'm just going to call this query. And since we're doing it's an item query, so we're going to do item item inventory query. So that's what we're looking for. Come on, where is it? Inventory list. Here we go. Inventory query. This one. Okay, and then we're going to assign to that message request. Dot append, and we want item inventory query request. Okay. Now we need to make a message response. Wow. Response. Wait. Response. As QB blah 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 dot I response or I message there it is. That thing. And we're going to take our SSG or session manager request MSG request. That was pretty much it. So here, this query, what we're doing is, hold on, it just doesn't seem right, but it's there. Okay, this message request contains this query. This query is requesting, is actually an inventory query, and we're adding to this, so we're appending the inventory query request, and we're adding that to it. And so we're asking for everything. So here's in the process. So this is going to have a response. This is going to have all our shit inside it. So whenever we get a response, we got to be able to go through that response and break it apart. So we got to create what's called a response list. So we're going to dim response list as QB blah 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 dot I response, and it's a list. And then we got to get it from the message MSG response dot response list. Okay. Now, so that's going to give us like an array of responses. So now we got to go through each response. So what we're going to do is dim current response. Okay. As QB dot I response. See, the top one was a list. This one's going to be a response, just straight up response. Okay. And we're going to grab the first item in that response list because I'm not doing any more requests inside it. So response list dot get. Wait, I screwed something up. Oh, I forgot to put close. The first item. Okay. Now we can always check to see. This is one thing I haven't been doing. What you should really do is check to see if that response was successful, because if it failed, you don't want it processing any further. So one thing you can always do is current response dot status code. If it's a 0, it's good. Okay. If it's greater than 0, then something bad happened. It failed. It's not working. If it's less than 0, then it's a warning. So something's still wrong, but it's still processed. So you want to make sure it's always equal to 0. So if it's equal to 0, continue processing, and if it's not, I would recommend you get the fuck out of it, or print out the current response XML and see what's wrong with it. Get some more detail. In my case, I don't really care, so I'm not even going to check that. I mean, I will be checking it in my actual software, but here for demoing purposes, really. Yes, understand that what I said. Okay. Okay, so what is this doing right now? Okay, I'm going through the current response, so now we got to go through the items inside that inventory. So what's going to be in there is basically going to be an inventory list, and then inside there's going to be separate items inside this inventory list. So we need to create an inventory list to store that inventory information. So basically dim inventory list as QB blah 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 dot I inventory list. I'll have to search for it. Inventory. It's a request. Yeah, it's a request list. Inventory request list, and then we gotta say. I'm gonna say this thing is equal to current response detail. I believe so. Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to iterate through the list of inventory. So for P as enter is equal to 02 inventory list dot count +1. So now we got to create the current item. So dim item as QB dot. Now the top one was a inventory ret list. So now we want inventory item inventory ret. Ta-da! And this is equal to the inventory list dot get at t. So that's our inventory item. So this item has all the information we need. So I'm going to do this with current item. So I can just do dot and I can get all the stuff from it. Alright, here's all the stuff that's in there. There's a few things. We need to create a class now to store this information. So I'll go down here to the bottom of my application, create a new class. it is. Okay, probably want to call that QB item or something or whatever, but call them item. Okay, first thing I'm going to want is a name of the item. Now, there's in QuickBooks, there's not an actual name. It's called a description. So it's description 1, description 2, whatever the fuck. I'm going to call it a name, which I'm going to store description 1 into. Then I'm going to have a description. Here. Okay, and I'm also going to want a list ID. That is the actual ID that QuickBooks references that information for. I also want the current price. Oops. And I can get the cost of the item of what it cost me, but I don't really care right now. I want to know what my inventory is, what my quantity. I want to know what my on hand is. On hand QTY. I mean, there's tons of information I can get from here. I can get my on hand. I can get how many on back order. You know, how many of them are on different assemblies and shit like that, and all kinds of crazy information. But this is, I'm just doing the basic information, so that's what I want. That's going to get. Also, I want to stick this class inside a list box, so I want to have a an override for 2 strings. So and I'm going to return back the name. Okay. I mean, it could be more. Let's see. How about we do? And then we're going to do, how about the quantity? There. That way it'll give us an inventory number and the item. Well, that's not going to look right in our thing because my inventory basically has 0, I think. Cancel that shit. Yeah, because on hand I got nothing. So mine, everything's going to be zeros. But I'm going to use it for demoing. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay. So here, where's my create inventory bullshit class? It's here. Okay. I'm going to DM I as new item. New I dot name is equal to dot description 1 get value. I dot on hand is equal to dot. I guess you can do multiple stores, but on hand store 1 dot get value. What the hell? Wait. I did something wrong here. Let me see what I got on mine. Oh. There's actually a on hand without all the extra storage stuff. Is it quantity on hand? Oh, there it is. Get value. What the hell? Quantity on hand, I'll get value is equal to available quantity, which is equal to a double. Okay, this returns back to double since. Alright, so let's go to our class here. Double. I guess this is going to be a double as well. I guess there's a few items that do have special requirements here. What? All set. Ah, there. I want the list ID definitely. And what else did I put in this thing? Remember I made that description too as an image? I didn't add that on here, but fuck it. We'll just grab the price. I think that's the last thing in here. Price dot one.get value. Here we go. Okay, so that does it. Now what we do with this item is dump inside our inventory items. So our this box 2.items.add I. Now, like we did in the other one, we did this check to see if it exists or see if it's not null. You probably want to do that on everything, but here I'm not really caring too much. I know this information is there because we just saw it. Here's a description. Here's the price, on-hand quantity, and that's pretty much all I'm really asking for. So go back to their application. So if I run this, you're going to get a whole bunch of zeros, and then the inventory is going to be on there. So load inventory, that goes there. So in theory, this should work. Let's see what happens. Crash. There we go. Okay, so here it loaded the employees. I can log in, log out with them, and here's my inventory. Okay, this inventory, as you see on hand, I got nothing on hand, but I got all these different items in here. And if I go to my QuickBooks, go to my items, these are all my items in here. There's 26 items in here, so there'd be 25 of them on my list here. Oh, there'd be 26 either way. I didn't put a count on here, but there should be 26 of these items in here. But are they in the same order? Let's see, rock, coconut, shrimp, yeah, it seems to be. So it seems like it took on the same order, but you can make a custom collections class and then sort it however you want or whatever you want to do with it, but here they are. So there, and each one has an actual list ID that we use to reference it. And I guess that ends this tutorial. The next tutorial, we're going to actually create a receipt. One thing we want to do here, I was going to say we can print the price out down here in the bottom, but the price is 0, but we know the items are in there, so these items do exist. Alright, screw it. Alright, I'm going to end this one here, and the next tutorial will probably be the last one for a little while, and the next one's going to be how to actually create a receipt with QuickBooks, basically a sales purchase. Alright, this ends this QuickBooks demonstration for the QBFC POS system. Until next time, laters.